Hey YouTube, Mike the Gambling Guy here, and I'm back at you to show you how I play C2B4 every day to win some money. Right, so hopefully you've saw the step-by-step how to play C2Bet4, and also you've seen how to recover a lost bankroll, because that could potentially be part of it. Right, so with that, I am on my online site, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to show you how I'm going to play, how I'm going to select a shoe. So if you need to write things down, if you can't remember a couple rules that I give you, these are important to me anyway as I play. So I like to try to find a shoe that's not necessarily right at the very beginning of the shoe. I want to find a shoe that's a little bit in, and I want it to be more consistent than not. So this one we're going to come out, we're going to, I would say take a look at this one, but I can see there is probably a dust square in that. Don't know till I actually put it in the app, right? Because I want to be in line with the shoe, just like I spoke about in the video. So in order to do that, start with a new shoe. I've got my red light on, so I can do my input of this shoe. So banker, player, banker, player, banker, player, 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 banker, player, player, banker. Okay, we did not have a dust square there. That's where I thought I might have saw a dust square. So it was a shape of a dust square, because if you had this one, these three, and these two, that would have been a dust square. Because we're in line with the shoe, that was not a dust square. So we can continue to put our input here. So we know the 2x2s are awfully sexy in playing the C2Bet4. So I missed my opportunity there to jump in, because it's saying go for a banker here, because it did have first loss, and this is where I would have been jumping in there. So it did come back to player, and it wants me to go player, and it actually wants me to, I need to back that one up, and I am gonna put that one bet there on player, because I know if it's gonna go 7-7 tie. All right, well, this one I think I'm just going to let sit. So when I'm going to do that, I'm going to turn that red light back off. And I don't have a profit of down 5, so I need to go correct that to that's not an actual loss. And player did win. So that would have lost, or that would have won on the third bet there, which I would have been okay with, right? So you can see that I'm playing this at a $5 base. So what I'd recommend for a bankroll, for every dollar that you want to play in C2Bet4 is going to be $300 of buy-in. So the first rule is if we have a dust square in our shoe, we run away. Right? That's a very important rule. Because once you have a dust square, there's a higher probability that a second dust square is going to show up. Baccarat is a game of patterns, right? Repeating patterns. It loves some repeating patterns. So let's stay away from those. So if you either see a dust square when you get in, just go away. Or if you see two back-to-back dust squares and you're getting in right after that, well, then you can consider playing. But I kind of like sticking to the rule of see a dust square, run away. So I'm going to turn my red light off here, because this is on streaks. So I'm looking for a streak here. So we know that this would go banker, 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 right? This would be my C2, banker, banker, and I'd be looking for my next banker here to get a win. And if it doesn't, then we know it's going to be player, 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 right? We know there's going to be it's all going to be players here. So now I've got 3 units on player. My next step would be the 7 units, right? 1, 3, 7 is how I play it. I don't go to the 4th. So if it goes to the fourth and hits a desk square, well, that's bad news, bad luck. It's not a good thing. So we can see now I'm up, shows I'm up $10. My goal is to get 4 or 5 units, typically 5 units a shoe, right? And we'll go find another shoe. Unless we're on the struggle bus, and then we'll say, okay, then we'll sit out. But if this is going to keep going 2x2s here, so this is going to go player, so it's going to, so I know the first one's going to be player. I know that my first bet's going to be player, at least my first betting opportunity is going to be player. But if this comes down here to a banker, it's going to tell me to bet on player. I'm going to tell you I'm not going to make that bet. I'm going to make that a virtual bet because I'm looking for the 2x2s to continue. So look, banker 1, and it's going to come and say player, and I'm going to go, no, let's make this a virtual bet. So to do that, I'm going to click the S button to skip it. So you can see now it's still saying it's calling for a player, but I made this now a 0. I didn't have to turn the red light on. I just made that a skip bet. So it could very well go player here, and I'm okay if it does. But if I'm looking for the pattern to continue, I would expect this to be a banker win. And it was. So now we go banker. So now we're in the 2x2s. And now I'm only risking $5. So I still have 3 bullets left. So if it wants to go all the way out to the fourth bet of the desk square, I mean, we'll play it that way. But I didn't risk a bullet by doing that first bet because I know it's going 2x2. And it was a tie. It's fine. We know ties are just rebets. And if you haven't seen, so if you guys are like, well, how much does the app cost now that I have to subscribe to it? You can actually play it for free. They actually have an ads version that you can play with no cost. It can say it's got a hard time to win that one. Now it's going to be wanting me to do a banker for 15. Because remember, we missed our first bullet. We skipped that first losing bet. We can see that was indicated up here by yellow. Now this one's red because it's going, yeah, that cost you $5 there. So we're going to see if it'll continue to go on the, no, it went for another tie. See if we'll get another banker out of this one. And because this hasn't gone past 3, I also could have said, okay, we're going to go ahead and sit this one out as well. But it's on streaks, so we're continuing the streak, right? So now we won the streak. Now we're up 4 units. Kind of want to get 5 units out of this shoe. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another tie here. Just because if you've been watching me for a while, you know I do like to play the ties. Oh, got the banker. Banker took another win there. So maybe this is just going to go on a nice long run. Only want one more unit. Try not to be greedy. Right? So I'd started this up just by going in. Once I kind of learned to do this, I actually went in and I was starting doing the dollar bets. And yeah, it's going to go banker, banker, banker. So let's get our last unit here on the banker. If it just does come up with a tie here. And then we would know that my next 2 bets would be on player. Because it goes banker, banker, and it goes banker, and it goes player, player, player. I wouldn't be making that 4th bet if it got to that. Didn't have to. We just got our 5th unit. We're going to reset and go find another shoe. Because there's a couple more rules I want to talk about. Actually, I can probably talk about it even here. So if I am in this type of a situation, as you can see up here, it's all singles, and then it comes to a 3 drop, right? So here it would have been betting for, it wanted me to bet on banker, of course, because it's going banker, player, banker, player, banker, player, right? I would have been betting on banker here. It came up here to player. It wants me to also bet on banker again. Well, if I did, and it came up here, whenever it goes a single to a 3, it could have been here a single to a 3. I would not have bet for that to go to 4. Okay? Wherever you're at, we're not betting for this to go 1, 2, 3, because if you remember looking at the desk squares, anytime you have a desk square, you've got a 3 somewhere, right? You just do. 3 things had jumped together. So in this case, I'm just going to sit out. So that's another rule. If it goes single to 3, it could have been player and 3 bankers here. Don't care. It means the same thing to me. I'm going to sit out. That's another hard rule. And go, sit out. Am I going to sit out one bet? I'm going to sit out the series. I'm going to wait till there's either a desk square, which means I'm getting off that table, or there's a win, right? If the win happened, okay, good. Then I can continue. But if there's a desk square, believe me, I'm running away. I'm going to go find another table. Okay, so that is another rule to look for. The other rule would be is this would have gone, and again, it depends on where you're getting these. But if this red banker here was my winner, okay, stick with me. If this red banker right here was my winner, then it would have said player, player, and it would have been looking for this bet to be a player. Now we know here, looking at here, we know it's a player, but let's go back in time where we didn't know. And this went single, 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 and then went double, double when I was looking. It's going player, player, and it's calling for another player. I would not have bet that either. I would have said that'll be a virtual bet, right? Because then I'm really expecting that in my experience that's going to come back to banker, and then I can go ahead and continue my series. Well, I'm going to take a virtual one there. That's kind of another rule, right? So let's go look for one more shoe, and then we're going to talk about money management and what happens if you do lose, right? Eventually it does happen. So let's talk about that, and then I'm actually going to show you a new money management system that's on the app that can just manage this for you. That is tremendous, right? So right now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to click delete. Going to hit the trash can. Yes, I want to hit the trash can. Anytime I hit the trash can, I also then hit the red light, so I don't forget to turn that on. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that because I'm going to X out of this room. We're going to come back to our lobby here at Evolution because we've got lots and lots of tables. This exclusive table is looking pretty tasty. It's all these singles. So I like to have a couple rows to start doing the way that I'm playing, but that's all right. Let's come in here. Let's just start putting these in. So the red light's on. So banker, player, banker, player, banker, player. So I've got 6 hands. She's got 6 hands, and there she just had to hit a back-to-back player. So this is that perfect example that I would have talked about. That if this was already, this is looking for the C2, it's looking for my next one. But if this was C1, C2, it'd be asking for a player here, and I'd be going, nope. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be surprised if a tie comes right here. This is actually a good opportunity for a tie. Didn't quite get the tie, but that's all right. We came back to banker. So now it's saying we're going to go with player. And this is not a 2x2 scenario, so I am going to go ahead and turn that light off, and we're going to make this bet on player. So I like that bet on player. If it ends up being a 2x2 opportunity, well, it is what it is. But I do like this one. We did not get it, but that's all right. Banker, so now it's going to say, okay, another opportunity on player, $15. So just a little bit of additional user interface if you haven't used the app much. This R here is so you can actually revert back one bet. And we got a tie. My tie came a little bit later. I was calling for it right there. I'm not going to complain it came there. Let's break that 8 down to a 2. There we go. Got our player. So we got 2 units win, $10 profit. Right? I really covered the rules in the way that I play. So let's talk about money management. So let's say I lost my third bet. It happened. Right? So I'm down 11 units. So in this case, I'd be down $55 because for every 11 times 5 is not hard math. 6. I'm gonna go ahead and mark these as a player. So now we can see we're in the 2x2s. So we went from the singles to the 2x2s. So I would know that if it goes banker here, it's gonna be telling me to go player, and I'm gonna go, no, we're gonna make that virtual. So if I lose my first 3 units, my first 3 bats, right, and it's not a death square, I'll continue in this shoe. But how do I continue? So then I want to divide and conquer. What does that mean? Divide and conquer. Sounds cool. And went player here, so it's gonna be wanting me to go player, and I'll go player. I'm fine with that. So divide and conquer. So I'm gonna take that $55 and basically try to divide that in 2. So what I do with $55, I just call it $25. So I know it's $55, but I'm gonna go ahead and just call it $25 because I got a $25 chip. So then I'm gonna come right back in. I'm gonna play at a $25 denomination. Right, so that'll be my dollar denomination is $25 until I get either 1 unit or 2 units back. So if I get 2 units back, I'm down $5, which is literally 1 unit, unless I had to pay for commissions, which happens. Then I'm down, a unit and a half. Good, I'm glad they broke that 9 over there. That was mighty nice of them. Boom, and we win that too, and now we're up 4 units. Right, you can see how easy this is. So I'm going to play that. So I'm going to play up to 3 bets at $25. So 25, 75, 175. That's my progression. And if I win on the first bet, now I'm down $30 total. So then my next bet, I'm going to do a $15 progression. I'm going to divide and conquer again. Right? No need to take all the risk of putting all that out there again. Let's just go ahead and we're going to divide that into 15. Because as you've seen, there's a lot of times you go to the second bet. So in a Super Mario, you're doubling it and you're adding a unit. So it would have been 15.45 would have been my second bet. So I just won $30, maybe minus commission. Again, that's just part of it. And that's how I get that back. What happens if, oh no, you lost that too, right? That's not great. So here it's saying we could possibly go to the chop. So let's go ahead and we're going to play the chop. I could have made this a virtual bet to say it's still going to continue doing 2x2s until it proves it's not. And we got our 5th unit there, right? So what happens if we're like, oh man, I even lost that 175 bet? Well, now we're going to go back to how to regain your losing bankroll, and that's using the Stern method. And I'm looking for streaks, right? I'm going to look for streaks that are happening, and let me talk about that maybe a little bit more since let's just say we're done with this shoe for our purposes. Let me move my mugshot over there, and I'm going to go to the multiplay. So when I'm coming over here to the multiplay, yeah, this looks like it'd be a great shoe to get into, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, it's got some streaks in it, but they're not really connected. You've got some streaks, and then solos. So this went solo. Is this now going to come back to players? In order to double, because you can see this one had just broke. We'll know here shortly. So what you want to try to find is something that's more grouping like this, right? So if you're going to, not this, because as of recently it's gone solo, paired, soloed, at least paired. So I want to try finding something that's in that immediate category of showing that it is actually still going on streaks, one after the other. I don't really want to have much kind of random streaks. we want to find more groups. Again, here's streaks on the player side. We finally got a streak on the banker side. So we could potentially be looking for this one to have a start streak running on the player side. But we really want to pull these together. Like, this is a great one. It's sitting over there by itself, just getting longer and longer. There's actually quite a few, and I'm not even on my good roads. I'm just kind of looking down the tables at all the streaks that are out here as they're going. Again, that kind of really helps with that strategy. This is a perfect one. Get out here, then hit it banker again. So we'd be looking for banker. If it goes to player while we're playing this, well, now we're going to put our next turn bet on player, right? And be able to walk right through that. So to bring up my stern, if you're like, I haven't seen that, let's show what that is. So this is the stern recovery. It's got 9 steps to it. You're at 26 units. So hopefully when you after you've lost your other bets, you're like, okay, what do I got left? Now I can divide that by 26. And that'll be my starting bet of the stern recovery. As the bets, as your bankroll starts to recover, you can always increase that, right, and make that better. So far, I've had to do this a couple times. I've lost both sets. So as I'm trying to get that second 11 units back, I got whacked, and I'm like, oh man. So instead of just going in with a bigger bet, divide and conquer and put that into pieces, I try to divide and conquer that into like 6 or 7 times, and then I'll just come in and do the stern, and boom, boom, boom. Like, I've been very fortunate getting that back, but part of the key is looking for these. So look right here again. This one did. We bet on banker. We lost. It went to player, but the good news is it went to player again, right? So if it went to player again, this one I might go, well, it's either you bet your parlay bet and your progression and say, okay, let's go for that. In this case, it just hit, or you sit and wait and go, I'm going to wait for the banker to show up. Hopefully it's not too many runs, and then I'm going to look for that banker to repeat or the player to repeat. If your bets are getting bigger, don't pay the commission, right? You've got the option. You don't have to be in a hurry when you're playing the stern. Pick your moments, right? Same thing when you're playing C2B4. Just because the thing says you need to bet on this bet here, you don't. If you're not feeling it, don't bet it, right? There's going to be another cycle coming up. There is. There's going to be another cycle. Your money will continue to grow, and you can continue moving up to the next step until you're at, let's say, $25 units, right? All right, well, let's jump in and let's show you a different money management system before we I know this video's getting a little long in the tooth, and thanks for sticking in for those that have stuck in. But now I'm going to show you a different money management system, and maybe I should just make a different video on this one. But this one is the Regal, not the Regal money management system. See, there's a lot of them in here. This is the Regal DC. Regal DC. So for divide and conquer. Now for this one, it does take more of a bankroll, right? So this is actually taking, for every dollar, it's $500 because it has its progressions built in for recovery. So you don't have to worry about that. You're going to jump right in. You're going to start recovering your money. So for mine, because I just have 1,700, I think is where I'm at. It's not quite enough to save $4, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to save $3, $1,500, and we're going to update that. So we're going to be making $3 bets. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. So a different rule for using the Regal DC divide and conquer is you really want to start at the beginning of a shoe. A death square will not kill you using Regal DC. A double death square, believe it or not, will not kill you using Regal DC. Now, triple death square, that's gonna be hard to get through on anything, honestly. So let me go back here and we're gonna find a table. Let's try to find a freshie. This one's got 4. Oh, this one's brand new. We've got 1 player here, so that'll be pretty easy to start from a player bet. So we had a player, we had a banker. So now it sees 2. It goes, okay, I saw 2. I know what I'm looking for. So since it went player banker, we know that it's looking for a player. We know that, right? Because I showed you the chart in the step by step. You can always build your own little chart just so you can have it over on the side and go, okay, where are we at? I did that. And we got the player. So that's going to show us a win. And now it's going to be game on. And I got to shrink this down a little bit because I got to get to my dollar chips. Because we're going to be doing $3 units. I don't have a $3 chip. Right? I do not. But you can see my steps. It's only giving me my 3 steps. Because this was developed really for that 3-step bet. Kind of what I've been playing. So it saw 1. It's going to see 2. And all the recovery is built right into this system. That's why there's $1,500 in there for a $3 bet. Because it's going to take your loss, it's going to divide it, and then it's go, okay, let's conquer that. Let's kick that butt. So we got a $3 bet on banker, and same goal, 4 to 5 units. Get 4 to 5 units, my $3 unit base. Cool with that. Work on it just, how do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? Everybody knows this. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. 1 bite at a time. We got the banker. We hit our unit, right? It's literally, for those that have reached out and said, I've tried the Regal Cash Lap and I haven't been able to win. Give this a try. Honestly, give this a try. This is easy. Using the Regal DC kind of takes any of the questions out of your mind of going, okay, when do I know when I'm going to play a virtual bet? I mean, don't get me wrong. If the death square shows up, you can still run away. You can still run away because you're still betting that same style of bet. 1, 2, 3 bets. In this case, I'd be down $33, right? 21 plus 9, $30 plus 3, $33. So I know that, okay, I'm going to divide that by 2. So that would have been $17 if I really wanted to round up on that. There's no reason. And then I can start playing for maybe a $15 unit if I'm down $33. And then if I hit that $15 unit, well, I might only play $8 or $10, right? Break that into a smaller unit to get your money back. But there's a lot of different ways to do this. And apparently I've been missing a couple. So it's saying player here. This is where I would normally skip, but because we're doing this, let's get our $3 in here because we're playing the Regal DC. You see, my instinct took over and said, no, we're skipping this one because following my normal rules, I wouldn't have played, and for that reason right there. So now we're going to be at a $9 banker. Double. 1, 2, 3. It's just easier to double and add a unit, which in this case is click, click, click. So if we have to go to that 3rd bet, it's going to be the same thing. $9 to 7. I was going to say, it's going to be hard to win that one. So we're going to show that it's a player, and now it's going to say $21 in the banker. So double and click, click, click. So maybe we'll get to see a little recovery here. Not that I'm hoping to lose. I'm not. But, I mean, at least we can show you the recovery. 6 to 8. Well, I didn't get a chance to. Gonna take my profit there. So I got a profit of 1080 or 4 units. So, I mean, I was willing to show you. Didn't need to. All right. Well, I think we're going to call this a wrap, and I really hope you download download the app. I mean, worst case is it's free. You get your 5 units just in time to take a restroom break, because that's when you got to watch an ad. I mean, if you're doing the ads, it only asks for the ads when you say, okay, you click the little trash can to delete. Like get here and say delete. It's going to say, are you sure? Because now an ad's going to start. So you got to get through an ad, and then you're going to be able to start your next shoe. So at least you're getting 5 units before you're starting your next shoe if you want to do the free route. I mean, I prefer the full meal deal for full version, because I get unlimited shoes. It's up to you, personal preference, right? That's why they make shoes in all different sizes. Not the same one fits everybody. Thank God we're not in Holland, the wooden clogs anymore. I think they even got rid of those. Side note. All right, Mike the Gambling Guy. Till next time, I'm out.